So it's not cool as that. So you can hate them, but the truth is that you fucking with the best, and we coming with the new shit, black. Yeah, I need to know how y'all feeling. I need to know if y'all willing.
Pretty good. Okay, yeah, man. Actually, this city looks pretty good from like this distance.
Yeah, there's not too much on the screen there.
So no, I think
that plot got really heavy.
Way more than I expected for something of this nature. It's still bullshit politics plot, but it's like, but yeah, it got involved in itself a little bit too deep into itself.
Also,
tucked its head into its asshole for a minute.
The fact that comes in way later and at the start. Remember we were saying we were like, oh, I just like when I first started playing this game when it came out, I thought it was just like a beat 'em up, killy thing. But you have to keep going for all this plot to unravel, and at the start, it doesn't seem like there's much plot at all. Then it starts dumping it every couple of cutscenes where, like, this guy's leaning into this guy, and that guy's part of that. And it's, like, really involved, but they're crunching it into a short period.
Yeah, now, that Black Baron fight, I still feel like that brought a lot to the game. Like, that was really good.
Yeah. But Black Baron actually had nothing to do with the plot.
Yeah, but my like qualms, I'd say, like looking back on it, are the same ones I felt going in initially years ago, which is the pure basic combat should be a lot faster and should be a lot less muso, right? So the problem that I find with it in general is that you walk into an area and a bunch of guys are standing around and they're just looking at you, and there's a couple of tough guys that block a lot, but you don't really get a sense of like back and forth fighting with these guys. You know, the big bull guys with that are charging you.
That's basically,
that's more of a fight. But I feel like everyone, including you, should be a lot faster. Jumping and airplay should be a lot more involved. Combos, because it feels like combos are sort of just
there
like.
There he is.
JP, yeah.
Additional writing, I told you.
You're super right. But that's kind of how I feel. I feel like the combat can be a lot more action oriented. Even though the game is built on stacking your kills high, they could have made the combat more intense, and then you get the guy into a stun state, and then you do all the dressing up, you know?
I'm of the opposite direction, where the combat should have, like, even been less.
Wow.
But I mean, like, you're right. That, like, what you just said is a way to go about it. But you can go the other way, where there's even less going on, and it's like, it's just, like, when you grab a guy and you're like, oh, I grabbed a guy, but there's a thing over there, and I gotta carry him all over there. That's like a problem.
That is a problem.
When you grab a guy, like there should be like an instant kill right there, and there isn't, because you either have to headbutt them, you have to throw them into something, and that's what slows it down.
But here's how I would solve that: is I'd have it you grab a guy, and then you see where the thing is, and then you're grabbing him with one hand, and then you sprint over to the other rose bush.
That's a good way to do it.
So you've got the chainsaw in one hand, and you've got the guy in the other hand, and you sprint over to him. If you remember, and if you think of the fan-made DMC style character action game, no, God, I'm flaking out right now because I forgot the name of it, but it's that indie game, and we talked about it on the podcast a few times. But it's the fastest character action game ever. It's super fast.
Okay, I don't recall.
And it's fan made, but you grab people and you're carrying them, sprinting full speed down corridors, throwing them, and then chasing up after them and going nuts.
Yeah.
So like if you had carrying guys around was like that, where you'd make it over to that rose bush in 2 seconds flat, then it would be fine.
But there's that requires a complete like redo of like even the level design, because there's so much shit like on the floor, weapons and things.
Yeah.
And just getting there, they would have to. It's a cool idea. The other thing, like, let's say like, you can only do so much with what this game is.
Yeah.
I think I told you before. Move the camera a little up, zoom it out a little bit more, and then there won't be as many camera problems like there is. Like quite a bit.
Moving the camera, zooming the camera out a little bit, and like. Well, the levels are pretty. They're made for the right size for how slow you walk.
Yeah. How many times has someone hit you from off screen you never even knew that they were there?
Of course,
a lot.
And you can fix that by making the combat tougher, but making it so that people in blind spots don't swing at you.
Yeah, but like moving the camera up would help that.
You could. But making you run normally at the sprint speed. Like you know when I double tap, that should be my default run for this type of game.
That would definitely help too. But like the other thing about the weapons, like whenever you get a weapon, you like those when you have the fucking daggers, that shit was really cool. But it was like the game wasn't built for that. So that when you were doing some stuff, and I was like, it feels like you can get some stuff going, but like it's not actually there. It's like they didn't actually program like a combo system.
They got because that one weapon has it. That's the only one in the game.
The only one we could find
that we felt like there was some stuff going on with it. I agree. They could have developed that a bit more, and it's kind of just like it's to be fair, it's an accurate speed for 3D beat 'em ups. Because if you think about like Final Fight, it's that slow, and when you pick up a guy with Hagar, you walk around that slow.
Yeah,
but faster is funner, and I think they learned that right after this game, and then they amped the shit up because Max Anarchy is way faster, the levels are way huger.
The problem with Anarchy Reigns, though, the single player at least, I mean, it's kind of what we can only compare it at, is that like that's just waves of dudes coming out and just things kind of happening, and the combat's faster in that, but the game is actually slower. I find like you're just waiting for things.
We Shall Wake is the game I was trying to remember.
We Shall Wake.
We Shall Wake. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of remember that.
And like that's hyper crazy fast, but
Inaba.
That's Sushi doing his thing.
But like everything else about the game, like visually, auditory,
done. Yeah, it's all
fucking awesome, and it's just like
the comment, the announcers.
Congratulations, you don't help people, you kill them. Now kill even more with 2 new weapons. That's what I was talking about. Remember, I kept talking about there's a weapon.
Yes.
And that's because when I replayed the game recently, the katana can now be used.
The double chainsaw can now be used. MadWorld. Yeah, exactly. No, what was it just saying though? Fuck. Well, we're looping back anyway. But final thoughts were,
I also think like a lot of people wonder, we get this question like why are you guys emulating this? Because we obviously wanted to just try it because certain Wii games and stuff like that, like we were always like they run in way better resolutions, and we're like we had definitely had a few foibles there, especially in the control scheme, because mapping all that controller shit. Well, we just wanted to try it out, and see if it goes.
Here's the exact process to just be real.
Get the controller again.
Yeah.
Just grab it for a sec.
The exact process, to just be real, was like, one, we want to be able to put out this shit in 4K.
So now you're ranked number 1.
Yeah. Putting out this, like, recording this in 4K is going to make the footage look great, because if you put normal 480i footage on YouTube for MadWorld, it looks awful.
It doesn't look great.
Go look at other footage of MadWorld out there, it looks bad.
There's not that much footage of it to begin with.
But what is there is suffering, right?
Yeah.
So there's that major advantage, and when I grabbed it, I kind of played the first bit. And you can get through the first part of the game, no problem.
Yeah.
But the waggle requirement amps up a lot. And
against bosses.
Exactly. And a low degree waggling is doable, but high degree waggling is not. And when I looked it up online, I saw that a lot of people with other games with strict waggle requirements, they couldn't play as either.
Yeah.
You know? So that's like a known issue with the emulation and stuff. But that's what it was. And for the people that were saying like, oh, get like a Wiimote going on it, it's like, I don't have a Bluetooth dongle on my computer. Yeah. I don't have the ability to do that. So even if we wanted to switch, it wasn't out of stubbornness.
But if we're going to do this again, emulating, we might try that depending on the game.
Depending, we'll see if the game needs.
Start up a level real quick because I just want you to see the weapons I've been talking about.
Sure,
LP.
man.
You can put it on hard if you want. I don't even know what that does. Does it like amp up the difficulty of whatever? Start the first Asian town level.
This is We Shall Wake, by the way. I got some footage here running for Matt.
Okay, I never saw that.
You never took a look at it?
No.
Okay. We talked about it on the podcast a couple times.
Just skip the cutscenes.
I backed it on the Patreon. But
and it's just one of those things where it's like, look at this concept. Look at the fucking concept.
It's super fast. We can just go anywhere.
Yeah, that's the thing about New Game Plus too.
Great. Okay, so I can use that weapon and like.
And Asian Town, because just fuck the fucking castle place.
Nah, well, I wanted to go back to the wolf guys, but.
Sure, just start there. The Rin or whatever. No.
Okay.
Rin.
Sure.
Yeah, Great Wall Street.
Do you have the weapon automatically all the time?
It's right there when you start, usually.
You've made it to Asian.
Both of them?
It should be. At least one should be somewhere, and one should be in another place. Because they're like, unlocking the BFG or something.
So it makes the game a joke, basically.
Yeah, it's like getting those specialty weapons in, so there's the katanas right in front of you.
Yeah.
And you want to do the B thing, the B attack with it. Oh, those things getting in the fucking way.
Getting in the way. There we go.
Alright, so just do regular attack combo with it to a guy.
Okay, well, don't kill him.
He gets killed instantly,
Yeah.
but they hate these weapons.
Oh, that's hilarious. Damn, 2 swings is all it takes.
Now hold the B button. Or hold the stronger, like,
That's like,
attack
that's
thing.
a fucking straight up...
Now, flick it. And you get those sword strikes,
Yeah.
and it destroys everything.
Iado
super
style, Virgil.
That's what I was talking about. Like, when you get this weapon, you get these really cool swipes. So I was like, well, yeah, I'm sure you're going to appreciate the style of them.
That's awesome, man.
Now,
That is straight up the beginning of the Kenshin OVAs.
Right, right.
Slicing a guy in 3 and then you
super
keep
low to the
walking.
ground. Go back to the starting position. I'm trying to see if the other weapon is there.
Hold on a second. Let me see if he has any natural... Yeah, he does.
Oh, okay, you can't. There is no launcher, right?
No, there's just both of these.
The launcher's doing that.
And behind you even.
Yeah, anyone that is behind you just gets fucked.
Let's see if there's an A execution on it.
What do you mean
You
by
do
A
even get up?
execution? Oh, on the floor?
No, because you can hold B or hold A to do the finishers.
Oh, right,
So there
okay.
might be a different version of it.
I don't even know if that's a thing. There's a guy right behind you, I think, or behind the. Oh fuck!
Party on! They dropped in.
Yeah, no,
1,
that's
2, 3. No,
Nah,
he just
goes into the
just
throws.
does that. Okay.
Although that guy got fucking owned.
Cool. And where would the
I think maybe if the level starts with this, that means you don't get the other one. But quit out, because you can just quit out of the level if you like. Go to the werewolf one, actually.
Sick.
And there's also multiplayer in this, too. But what it is that we don't even have another controller set up. But what it is that we're competing for points.
Split screen?
Yeah, it's like split screen vertical, I believe. And it's nothing that special. I never messed around with it.
Is it 2 jacks?
Yeah.
No.
It's like we're basically in competition with each other. It's not versus.
Damn it. How do you miss the opportunity to go Black Baron or at least Kojak on that? That's
maybe
a miss.
I
He has a chainsaw on his arm.
You can boot it up just to see, but I don't know. I don't think there's like a character select or anything like that. So yeah, go to the shaman stage.
I forget which section it's in.
And next one over. That one. It should start you on it. Yeah. Shamans, take that. The new weapon for there should be right on the starting gate as soon as you load into it.
So it's one super weapon, one or the other per stage.
Yeah, I think they either cycle. No, I think it's always for that particular stage. Meaning when you start Asian Town, that katana will always be there. You start this, the other weapon always. There it is.
Yeah, and fighting bosses, I guess same thing. They just fucking eat it hard.
I don't know if you can. I don't know. I can't remember if these weapons stick around the entire time. But just, oh!
Are you fucking serious,
vault and like
dude?
1-hit kills.
That is amazing.
Yeah, what else do you have?
That's the A swing. Everything's a 1-hit kill.
So if you recall, that's like his super attack in Anarchy Reigns. Like he had the double one.
Yeah,
if you recall.
yeah.
Because they were like, oh, that's the hypest one. That's the hypest one.
Hold Z.
That's what happens when I hold Z.
Okay.
That's what that does.
There we go. Left, right. Yeah,
that's
okay.
just backflipping out of it or whatever.
That's cool. And you slice everything. Wow, awesome.
Yeah, so but it's not giving you a shitload of points.
You gonna get because you kill everything too fast. Yeah.
I guess it's just for like if you just want to get guys away and you just want to clear out everything.
And you can put it on your back.
Yeah,
that
like weigh
so
like
silly.
500 zillion pounds or whatever.
That looks super silly.
But yeah, like when I'm really looking at it again, it's like I knew a little bit about like how the levels played out, but it's like for an LP, I kind of feel like if you knew this game like backwards and forwards like the back of your hand, it would go a little bit smoother. But because there's such that slowness to there's another double chainsaw because there's such a slowness to how the game sort of unlocks, and it's like if you don't know what gives you the most points maximum, you spend a lot like this section was a rough
It was
time.
It was a bit tricky. It was a bit
tricky,
tricky.
and oh fuck, and coupled that with the fucking little controller issues with all the waggle, which like for this session we really. Yeah, you found the right fucking prompt to get that
a little too little, too late, unfortunately. But I mean, I did just fucking work on it until I got it working completely.
Yeah, it required a lot of fiddling. If we're ever gonna do emulation
I fucked up the death thing in one swing. That's amazing.
If we're ever gonna do emulation for a Wii or GameCube game, like trust us, we're gonna exhaustively make sure it controls perfectly.
Well, you don't use it unless there's a good reason to.
Oh yeah, no, this was a good reason. I mean, like, there's like. Would we do this for Mario Galaxy if we were going to play that? No, because Mario Galaxy looks awesome regardless.
In the end, I'm super glad, though, that I saw it like this, because I got to see all of MadWorld in the most beautiful possible resolution.
Yeah, exactly.
And like, man, it looks fucking great for us, at least.
But clearly, even though I really like this game, though, like, it just in terms of style, whatever, clearly it's on the lowest tier
of Platinum
game.
Yeah.
I mean, I never played Infinite Space, and I know that wasn't exactly their own game 100%. They did that with another company. That's like, kind of like whatever. It's neither here nor there. But there's just these like kind of fundamental like issues about like the gameplay flow, the camera angle, the lock-on especially.
All that stuff, but also just sort of thematically. Like, personally, I'm like, I get when something is violent, but, like, it doesn't have to be, like, fapping to the violence. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just kind of think, like, games
and
like...
they held it back. Remember I told you about the kill for the Jude the Dude?
Yeah,
exactly. That's really bad. That's when they were like, okay, no, this is even too much.
Like, death games, whatchamacallit, Smash TV, stuff like that. It's like, yeah, I'm like, I get it, man. Just, you can do it a little more subtle sometimes. I don't know.
I don't think Platinum can.
And like, I know that's a weak sauce thing to say, all things considered.
If their concept was Running Man thing, it can only be this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It might be a misfire, like you're saying, kind of slightly, but
and
like...
But I'll tell you right off the bat, like, people that find it distasteful are just going to be like, fuck this, I'm not even looking at it. And like this would get critically panned.
Did you see that NeoGaf?
Just because of that
NeoGaf thread, someone's like, here's Ermac's fatality. And it's he levitates you into the air, and then he pulls your intestinal tract out through your mouth and your nose.
Right. Okay.
And people are like, "No,
too far.
This is too far because what do you do after this? Like, there's nothing possible." And I said on the podcast, like, some of these fatalities are too much, but I was just like, they're too much in the sense that, like, yeah, what do you do after this when you push the envelope so far? Like, there comes a part where, like, you don't go any further because...
But when your entire game is built around pushing the envelope, you have no choice.
You take time off.
Yeah.
You recharge the batteries and you take it from a different perspective. I don't know.
You get as creative with the kills as possible, but fuck, man. Like, your whole game relies on that. That's where the budget's coming from,
Yeah, and the other thing about, like... Remember the fucking Mortal Kombat, like, D versus DC shitalities, like the really lame ones, heroic brutalities and all that?
Yeah.
Remember that? We were like, oh, well, they get around the violence by going for more of a cool Japanese super move style. But they were still really lame.
Because DC wouldn't let them do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, but they didn't even do cool, like,
No,
Japanese
it was fucking
flourishes.
awful. It was fucking
They were
garbage.
just awful. And then, like... Mortal Kombat, like, 9 or whatever, the X-Rays, like, they're brutal, but they're more of a stylistic super move style thing.
Yeah.
And they're getting close to it with that and all that, and it's like, once you've reached a plateau of actual gory violence, then you actually have to bring cool style into it.
Back into
like
it.
a cool motion, or holding a sword in a certain way. Like, because Japan fucking nails that all the time, and it's like, America is not quite there.
Well, I mean, look, like, the sickest Ultra animations, when the first time you see them, you fucking lose it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh my god, that's intense, but it doesn't necessarily end with the guy fucking splattered all over the place.
No, yeah, Street Fighter 4 and, like, Guilty Gear do it.
Like, fighting is cool, and that, it doesn't need to be justified on its own. You can do a lot with just that.
Imagine if 2 idiots were in a room and they tried to figure out how Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter would work. That would be a terrible video.
What a bad idea.
What a bad show.
No one should ever do that.
Anyway,
I think we're good.
I think we're good. I hope anyone that was watching this kind of enjoyed it. Sorry for all the control issues, but I had fun.
Matt, you gotta stop apologizing these
I know,
days.
but a lot of people were complaining about the control issues.
But fuck it. Like, it was still fine. It was still fun. I know this is one of the ones that's near and dear to your heart, but like the people rightfully say whenever this goes up, it's like, fuck those people that do that. It's a good it's a good thing. We're having fun. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't worry about it too much.
So when do we start?
What?
God hand.
Oh God! No!
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 Never!
No!
Never!
Too soon!
Too
Too soon! Diablo!
Alright.
Diablo!
So it's not cool as that, so you can hate them, but the truth is that you fucking with the best, and we coming with the new shit, black. Yeah, I need to know how y'all feeling. I need to know if y'all willing.